Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Rangers Radio. Well, here it is, the truth as you really want it. You know, so much of the tripe that we hear today is pre-programmed, ill-informed crap. We never get the chance to hear real blues men practicing their craft anymore. Here's news that only exists in the current affairs section of the local library. So while we still can, let's welcome the Royal Blues Brothers.
Good evening and welcome to Rangers Radio.
I thought there was joining my...
What was that?
Hello, welcome. Welcome to Rangers Radio. Join myself. Sorry, mate. I was waiting a minute. Join myself, Oxford, on the show this evening is, of course, the Blues Brothers, the one and only Southside and Big Stevie. Evening, gentlemen.
Evening, Ox. Something a wee bit different tonight. Intro-wise, good evening to yourself and good to be on the night with my big mucker Stevie as always, and good evening to all the troops on the YouTube feed already. Hope you enjoy the show, and good evening to everyone on Facebook, MixLR and everybody else out there.
Evening, Stephen.
Good evening, troops. Welcome to Dream Team Wednesday. Yes, a different format, and I'm looking forward to it tonight. Magic, how are we? We are the people.
I'm good, mate. Sun shining. Yeah. What's not to like, mate, yeah?
Sun's always out shining the drum.
Oh, Costa del Drum. Southside,
I don't know about the Costa del, but it was certainly sunshine in the south side of the city this afternoon. Shorts and t-shirt weather, and a couple of sherbets with my good mucker Albert. So it's not to...
I don't think I'll elaborate on that. I don't think I'll elaborate on that, yeah?
A couple of sherbets is a couple of sherbets.
No. I mean, I'll not elaborate on the shorts and t-shirts, but...
I knew you were getting that. I knew you were getting it.
Aye. Right, okay. Right, what I'm going to do, used to, yeah, Mr. Rangers and Mr. Rangers. I'm going to test your Rangers knowledge. Yeah?
Not a problem.
Not a problem. Stevie, you can go second, so Mr. Southside can go first.
You're at that already.
What I've got is, I've got 20 questions based on Rangers Celtic from the year you were born right through to the present day, yeah? You ready?
Yep.
Looking forward to this.
I bet you wish you never went for a couple of sherbets too, yeah?
Aye, I was just going to grab off that shelf there, everything you need to know about Rangers book there and stuff like that. Oh.
No, we wouldn't do that, you mate. How you doing, Southside? How you doing, Stevie? Getting ready for the weekend, yes? Always a big game when we play them. Southside.
Aye, of course it is. We've battered them twice in the league already, haven't we? So we might as well have a going date for a third time. So aye, that's what's at stake on Sunday. Game against them and hopefully a home win. Hawks.
Yeah. Stevie?
Aye, yep, I'm up for it. Let's go and do them. Let's go and put them in their place. The way we have done the last two games. I mean, the last two games, but listen, they talk about gaps now. I just can't see a gap. There's no a gap there for me. The only gap is we just need to sort our consistency out. Apart from that, where they come in, they stole the cup off us with dodgy decisions, and let's be honest, the last two games we deserve to beat them.
Aye, I think that's a good point you made about the consistency, and I think that's where a lot of the frustration comes from Southside, isn't it? Hot and cold, hot and cold, cold, hot, cold.
You know? That since the season really kicked off and we dropped 2 points. And then we sort of play all right for certain periods of games, and then we're back to we don't start well and stuff. And it's the points we've dropped against the rest of the teams in the league. It's cost us. Like I say, we've put 3 goals by them in each occasion in the last 3 games. So we can see that we can do that, no bother. And we've picked up 2 victories. And if we'd had a decision going our way, we might have had a trophy in the bag with the other game. But apart from that, no, nothing to fear for them. just there's nothing. The league's done, fair enough, but they've still got to get the point done. And I'll tell you what, we beat them on Sunday, and they'll all go potty. No matter they've won the league or not, they'll be sick. They'll be spewing into their bags as normal, because they'll know they're coming on Sunday to try and do a number on us, guaranteed. So hopefully we'll be up for the fight like we should be, and put them and just shut them up and get a victory at Ibrox.
Stevie, the points outside there, we've nothing to fear for them, but we've got a lot to fear for ourselves.
It's all about us, isn't it? It's about our attitude. Listen, we've got home advantage. The support's there. They'll get all the support they need. It's about getting out with the right attitude and doing the business. They owe us, put it that way. They get out there and beat them. And the South Side said they'll be spewing. Absolute spewing. We beat them again. You know what I mean? That's 3 in the bounce. They'll not be happy. They can kid, oh no, it's the league's done and all that, but they'll definitely not be happy. Listen, there's every Old Firm games, it means something to the fans. It means something to us all, and if they're going to come away with our league's done, that's just lies. That's lying through their teeth. Let's get out there, Rangers. Roll your sleeves up and let's do it. You're the fans, man. Let's get it done.
Oh, there's certainly a lot of fans, man, this group of players, mate, you know, and we don't want to go there Saturday again, but it was frustrating. But arguably, the players that were picked and were involved were the players that most people would have picked, and just the level of consistency for some of the players. It's been frustrating to see the least South side in. But if we're honest, we want to have a good day on Sunday and enjoy our evening and enjoy the victory, and then we've got to put the team for the North East in their place, you know, well, 2 of them, and then get the season finished. But there's a lot of stuff happening at the club South Side, and that's what all the chat's about, really, isn't it?
Aye, we're also awaiting the news to see if there's anything else going to develop or break. We know it's by the hands of the lawyers and all that, and there's nothing they can really say until it becomes official. But they've certainly been over at Ibrox, as we've seen yesterday, and they've had a look about. Probably been up the training centre and that as well, and they were in Edmondson House and stuff through the museum. So, they'll take in, but they've had the chance to come up and get a look at the place now and get a feel for it. And now it's just a matter of, we're all interested at the moment, obviously want to hear the news, but the side issue for that is we've still got football games to play, and we still want to see victories. But aye, it's the off-field thing, you know, that we're all waiting on the news at the moment, Ops.
I know I've asked you this before, Stevie, but what does the younger generation pick up with? What are they thinking?
Well, listen, the way it is, I mean, things are stale now. You're a young fella now. Your team's not won nothing all season. Things are stale. No, you know, you're staying a bit. The young team are a bit deflated, aren't they? So they're looking for any sort of change, Ox. They're looking for anything at all. They're wanting the Americans in, get a wee war chest together and let's see where it takes us. That's just the feeling I get. Everybody's happy that these guys are coming in. We need change, let's be honest. I mean, everything's flat, innit? No, I mean, the players depart. I mean, they were playing for pride there on Saturday, and I never seen any pride at all. Every single player lost a personal battle all across that field. There wasn't really one. The only one that stuck out was Raskin, but for me anyway. But I mean, we're playing for pride now. The young team are, listen, they're gone near and far. That's the song, isn't they? They'll go everywhere with Rangers, but I just think everybody across the board, older ones, younger ones, we're happy that these guys are coming in and they're going to bring a wee bit of positive change. You know, that's how I think anyway. But Jamie, my boy Jamba's quite happy. He's happy they're coming in, and he's hoping that they can sign some decent players with some money that they're going to put in the war chest. So let's just see what happens.
Southside.
Can I just say, Ox, by the way, good luck to the Rangers women tonight. Good luck to the ladies tonight. They're playing a big game at Ibrox tonight, aren't they, against Glasgow City?
Aye, big game. We wish them
Aye,
all the best, mate.
Yep,
sure
top of the table.
Get some updates, mate, and keep everybody informed, yeah?
Aye, well,
Good result for the young boys last night. And by the way, big shout out to the boy Casemiro for playing. You know, obviously it's his rehab, but I didn't think we'd see him playing this season, Southside.
I didn't really know the full extent of the injury, but he done pretty well last night in what I watched. He certainly was mobile enough in that. Obviously, it's to no level, but he looked comfortable in the ball at times, and he got up the park and managed to get himself a goal. So it was good to see him back playing football at some level. Whether we see him feature at all, a cameo role or whatever towards the end of the season, we don't know, but it's good to see him back anyway, getting a game last night.
Aye, congratulations to the young team. Congratulations, yeah.
That was number 60, Ox. Number 60, Glasgow Cups. Well done to them.
Yes. Good on the young boys. Yeah. Listen,
it was a lot younger boys last night, Ox, as well, considering a lot of your boys are away and some have been promoted to the first team. So it was a young sort of age group of boys last night.
Yep, 17 and 18.
16 and all. Wee boy was on the bench a few times. Was playing last night.
Obviously, we were on here and I never quite got to see it for some bits and pieces on the internet. Maybe the young boy McCallion. What are you thinking, Southside?
Needs to grow. What a beautiful player out there, even at that age group. He was totally. The young boy at the back, I can't remember his name now. He took a Sorian. He was done for a good 10 minutes. Easy. He gets stretchered off, centre back.
With Curtis as well.
Curtis picked up an ankle or a knee knock. He was running about in crutches at the end of it when we were getting the trophy. But Paul Miso played in it. Alexander Hutton was playing right back. Boy Wiley came on and captained at the end when Curtis went off. But it was a young team and a young squad out there. But they done well and won the trophy, and that's what matters at the end of the day. It's about winning, isn't it?
Aye, listen, people will talk about our boys learning their trade and all that. I think the trouble is that I think the pressure's got to be there to win, because that's what our club's all about, Stevie. Yeah? And you need to, you need to learn that as soon as you become, if you like, for a better word, an apprentice. That it's all about winning. Your performances are fine at every level, so you take that into the first team.
Listen, anytime you play them, you don't care how you win, how the bogey's out of the line. As long as he's out of the line, you beat them. No matter whether it's Glasgow Cup or no matter if it's the first team or what, or the Lassies team. Yeah, anytime you play them, you want them beat. End of story. But listen, I've been saying this for years on here. These young boys, you need to be a certain breed to wear that Rangers jersey. You need to be a certain breed. And listen, if you'll get caught out, put it this way, see if you're a shrinking violet, you'll just be caught out. Because when you pull that jersey on, you're hated for everything outside of football, right into your football, right all across the SFA, SPFL, and all these other SPFL clubs. They all hate us, right? So you've got to be on your game constantly, on and off the field. You've got to be a different breed. You've got to be a true Ranger. You've got to keep yourself squeaky clean. I mean, you wear that tap, you've got to be a different breed. You've got to get out there and get the business done as if your life depends on it. And some of these young boys, no, I mean, I watched that game last night and there were no real stickouts. The Southside probably pointed out a lot of our boys are away out in loan and stuff and everything like that. There was a lot of young boys, but you're just looking for a different breed, mate. That's what I'm looking for. I'm looking for, no matter what Rangers is out there, that they'll leave everything on the part. You can say, well, at least I've seen a bit of effort there or whatever. No, but there's sometimes you don't see that, and I never seen it on Saturday with the first team. So that's exactly what I'm talking about. There's no meaningless games for me. No, when you're paying £35 to go to Love Street. I mean, Southside will tell you 35 bangers to go to Love Street. You watch that. People no winning their personal battles or the field. A Rangers team, come on, man. Especially one that's not winning anything, and they know the crowd, they know the Bears.
I get it, mate. I get it. You're right, but listen, we wish all the boys, and we get the progression, and we know you've got to learn your craft, for want of a better word, Southside. But you need that intensity. You need the. Then if you don't have that, mate, when the day come into a team, I just think the gap's too big.
Aye, it can be, because I know, like, we went to this best v best and all, hadn't we, for a while, and they're not really playing competitive games. But my argument will always be, we persevere with players that we buy in, and we spend money on them, and we're prepared to bring them in for big money. Or even, you can use Connor Barron as another exception that's just come in. Okay, he had some game time at Aberdeen. Kelty Hearts and Brecon was his footballing education, and he's 20 or 25 games, whatever it was, at Aberdeen. And we're bringing him in, it's costing us close to £1 million by the time the deal's nearly done, if he achieves whatever it is that's in the clause. And yet we've got young boys, and we've got to try and give them a chance. We're giving him a chance, so why are we not persevering with one or two of the boys that's in our academy? So for me, I think we've got to carry Bailey Rice ways. We've got to try and get him into the first team at some point. He's got the talent, and he's a football player. Once he gets settled in and he's playing in a settled Rangers team that's got better players round about him to help him, I'm sure the young boys that are getting a chance will maybe flourish in time. And that's what we've got today. We've got an academy up there for 20 odd years. It's hardly produced anything in the last 20 years. You know, so we've got to put boys in. We've got to stop being scared of playing them. It's all right saying they've got to be good enough, aye, they do, but they'll get better as they go on, as long as you're playing in a machine that's working well and playing well. These boys will grow into it at our time. They've got to. You can't just say every boy that's come into that academy will never make it at Rangers. So you've got to persevere. It's down to us to make them a better player, first and foremost. They're all blue noses, most of them on that academy, so they're not going to go out and try.
I think it's always easier to come into a winning team for it as a youngster, mate. You know.
Aye, because that's when you normally bring them in, isn't it? But
Aye,
we're asking them now to come into a rebuild, and aye, they should be our project players. Bailey Rice, Finlay Curtis, Enciala, they three they know because they've been the most prominent. And Ross McLaughlin at the moment is still like your project player, so they four you should be able to carry into a squad, or maybe one will go at the end of the season or whatever, but you should be able to carry these players and make them better and put them into a team, and eventually they'll probably grow, and as they grow you'll see that they become a good player. So we spent 4.3 million on Diamondi, who was a young boy, and he's come into the league, and he's not doing it. He's been good in Europe, but he's had a lot of performances in the league. It's been poor, really poor.
He's not been great.
No, but you persevere with that because you've spent that type of money. But when a young boy comes in, he can't be good. He's really got to be excellent.
There's a point you're making. Let's just say Bailey Rice, right? We'll use him as an example. If Bailey Rice and Diamondi put on some of the same performances domestically, Bailey wouldn't have been the team the next week, but the other guy would. Is that the point you're making?
Aye, he would be. He'd be sacrificed. Aye, of course he would.
Aye, I get it.
And it's happened to many young boys in the team that's come in before.
Stevie, but I think it is easy to bring boys into a winning team, you know, and that's what we're aiming to get back to, you know.
Aye, of course it is. When you're in a winning team, it's all about momentum and, you know, the camaraderie and everything else that goes along with that. Of course, it's a lot easier when you're winning to bring boys in.
Aye, I get it. But aye, look, we wish your boys the best. Unfortunately, the ladies have went down and lost a penalty kick, so we'll hopefully they'll get a goal back ASAP and carry on. But we wish them all the best. It's a big game for them. Yeah. Right. So look, we play them on Sunday, and we start with the goalkeeper. You with us, Southside? Is it going to be Kelly? He's still the man in possession.
Aye, yes for me.
Aye.
I don't see the point in changing it, Ox, to be honest. Okay, his feet was let him down at the weekend, which he's usually pretty assured that. So no, I wouldn't be changing the goalkeeper if I'm honest, Ox. No.
Stephen?
No, I wouldn't be changing him. No, not as quick as that.
No. Fair enough, mate. I'm not putting up an argument. I just wanting your opinion, you know. Because along with the rest of them, Liam Kelly did have a great game. You know, I don't think he was particularly at fault for any of the goals, but as you said, Southside, his passing was a bit wayward, to say the least, wasn't it?
Aye. That should have been punished. I really expected him to score. You know, he sort of slid into shooting. You know, I don't know if his foot went away or it was the way he decided to go, but he sort of slid as he shot. And I did expect him to hit the back of the net, but that was a let-off. But, I mean, apart from that, listen, he's waited a good while to get in the team. Okay, he could have cost us a goal, but he didn't. It didn't happen. And apart from that, he saved us later on. One of them got through and he had a good save with his legs in the second half. So, no, I would keep Kelly. I don't see the reason to change him. Jack's had a good run at it, and he's had a lot of mistakes. So, I don't think that he deserves to get back in.
Yeah, well, Liam's jersey. I mean, we're not keeping clean sheets. Let's be honest, Stevie. We're not doing well defensively, but at the moment, Liam Kelly's not making the rickets that Jack was. Yeah, if we're honest.
Listen, let's not be kidding. It was woeful on Saturday. Absolute woeful. But you're not going to drop him for having one bad game. Jack Butland was having bad game after bad game after bad game. And he was contributing the most goals that were scoring. No, there's a difference. You know, you can't just keep chopping and changing all the time. But I mean, if he's going to keep up performances like Saturday, it'll not belong to Butland as back. But you can't just drop him just for having one bad, a bad couple of kickouts and that. You know, so for me, definitely no. Kelly will remain the goalie for me anyway, to probably the end of the season now anyway.
Looks that way, if I'm honest. I don't think, unless anybody disagrees, but I'll tell you what, we'll get the phone lines opened as we start talking about the rest of the team, but if that's all right with you two, gentlemen.
Magic.
Yep. Hopefully get a few callers tonight.
Okay, yes, come and join us. Let's hear from you.
Why don't you give us a call on 0141 356 1972? It's your show, it's your platform. Let's hear from you.
Aye, okay. Right, yeah, Southside, you've obviously been thinking about it when you've been debating with Albert. Yeah, are you having wholesale changes? Are you pretty much tweaking the 11 who were so poor at the weekend? What's your thoughts on it? No asking you for your team yet, but what's your thoughts on it?
There'll be a few changes I would like to think that he'll make. There might be an injury or two, as you know, as well, because there's a couple struggling to make the game. But by all accounts, I would think Cherny would come back in off the top of my head straight away. It would be a starter ops. But I'd expect 2 or 3 others probably to be missing as well or moved about. But whoever he picks, they'll have to go out and get 100% in a Rangers jersey at home against him. And this is the thing, they probably will get themselves up for this type of game. You know, this is what they do. It's probably the game that comes after that. No, it annoys me. No, it annoys me. No, it annoys me. I don't get me wrong. I don't want them to go out on Sunday and they just go out and turn it out like they did at St Mirren. But, you know, they've got it in their locker. We've showed it in Europe against teams that are better than most of us in the SPL, you know, and we can play and they're up for it. And then you get the performances that we see when they come back. It's just back to, it's St Mirren there, or it's... I mean, St Mirren, Stevie said, battered all the park. I know the league's done, but you don't go out there and you lose your battle, and you go out there and what? If you're not interested, then I'd wish they'd just put their horn up and say, look, I don't want to be here next year, and if that's the case, then they can go. But if you really want to be here, then putting in a performance like that you did on Saturday is just not acceptable. But I would imagine that they should be up for this game on Sunday, and they should take pride in the fact that they want to go out and win it, Ox. But like you say, you don't know until they turn up, do you? Aye, Stevie.
Aye, listen, you're totally right. Everything you said there, you're totally 100% right. So what do you think then? You think they're cheating the fans then? They can be up for the big games, but they can't be bothered against St Mirren, St Johnson, teams like that. You know, that's how it looks to me. Listen, it doesn't matter how big or how small the team is. They're still getting paid ridiculous amounts of money. Taking that off of fam, you're paying their wages. And not one of them on Saturday won their personal battle. Not one of them. Not one. Well, we're bullied. How many times has St Mirren bullied us this year? We're Glasgow Rangers. On paper, we should be hammering them. We've got a far better team. So what we're saying is, I hope we're going to agree here, is we're just going out with the wrong attitude against these teams. It's an attitude thing we've got. I mean, but if we can beat better, going to Spain and places like that and gain a good account of ourselves and everything else, but when we go to Love Street, we can't win. Come on, man. They're cheating the fans. Tottenham are a disgrace. They really shouldn't be there. And I hate doing it. I hate saying it and getting into it. I hate ripping them apart, especially on radio. I like to keep things in-house. But you've got to be honest. Man, the boy with the blonde hair, man, was flinging it about, and not one of your players could get up and challenge him or even go in there and talk to him and say, what are you doing? Who are you talking to? Proper went. The boy was in Proper's face and Proper started laughing and done that to the boy's two cheeks. Instead of saying to him, who are you talking to? There's no fight, no guile, no determination. See, when teams get down and dirty with us, we are not up for the fight. I've been saying this for I don't know how long. And you can't play silky soccer in these games. Teams have got 11 players in the box, and you can't play football, especially when they're out to kick you off apart and want to fight with you. Our boys are shrinking violets. They're not up for that game outside of the game at all. That's how we're good in Europe, because people are playing football. And when people play football against us, we tend to give them a good account of ourselves. But when we come back to the Scottish game, you've got the element of terriers in it all the time, and they're going to fight, they're going to lie, die, and cheat to beat you, to keep their families happy. And our boys are not up for that. And I'm sorry, and that's the truth. They're not up for the fight.
For a start, mate, we do lack physicality, particularly in the midfield, you know. And also, another thing we lack, I don't know what you think, Southside, we lack pace, mate. We really lack pace.
Aye, the only person we've got really for midfield, as we've said all along, keep saying it, is Diamonde. He's the only guy who can sort of get the ball in the areas and try and drag the ball up the park, but we've not got a lot of pace. Czerny's no quick. I think before he been injured in the 3 occasions, Cortez, I think when it first started, looked like he had a decent bit of pace about him, but whether he retains that when he comes back or gets any game time, we don't know. But we need physicality and we need pace 100% throughout our team. And we need to make sure that we buy physical players, because in the midfield, if you had to start next season and they were all there, and Lyle Cameron gets a game, Barron's in the team, Raskins in the team, look at the A3 just alone, you know, and you fling Diamondi in there. So no, we need 6 feet odds boys that can go in and put their foot in, but also play. We need that in our team, probably pace on the wings and powerful strikers up front. That's what we need. We need the physicality. So we need to be dangerous in both boxes and all. We need to be able to deal with the boys when they come into the box. We want commanding centre backs that are good in the air, but also will be a threat when we go into the other penalty area up the other end. Because when games are tight and you need a goal, set pieces, look at all the teams throughout the league in England and all that, they all get a fair percentage of corners and set pieces where they add it to their numbers, and it gets them enough games and goals throughout the season. We're poor in that aspect, and we have been for quite a while. So we need to make sure that we're going to be imposing in the penalty box when we're getting set pieces and corners, have set plays, have some bit of invention. But we need to get a squad built first, and we can look at all that sort of things as we go along. But we need physicality and pace, as you say, 100%.
You know, I don't know. It worries me that people that we've had in the club who are been rewarded scouted and thought that some of these players were the answers. I get it. We're no shopping at the Gazas and Blind Roundup players. We are where we are. But sometimes you've got to say, nah, that's not going to work. And we've just made some awful signings on big money who have hardly played any games. So it hinders us for improving the squad going forward, Stevie. It's been mental at times.
Aye. Look, no matter what we do this season coming, it's all about, for me, it's the appointment of this manager is so crucial who it's going to be. It's all about this manager for me, who they're going to bring in. He's going to lay the foundations and he's going to bring people in. He's the guy who's going to put everything together here. So he is the most important thing this season coming. Him there. But listen, I don't care how big, how tall anybody is. I want them to have a bit of heart and a bit of pride. And I mean, you don't need to be a big guy to kind of get in about things. You know, you don't need, you know. Yeah, well, they're a classic example, isn't it? We're asking. You seen him getting angry on Saturday, didn't you? When the player took him out the game, you seen he was starting to get fed up with it. You seen he was starting to get angry. And what happened when he got angry? He ends up getting these goals, doesn't he? He ends up playing well and sticking out like a sore thumb because he got angry. They need to get more angry all the time. When was the last time you seen a Rangers player really putting in a right dirty tackle into somebody? You're like, what's he done there? No, never, not one of that team. They're just a bunch of nice boys. And when anybody wants to fling it about, we shrink. We're not up for it. We don't want to know that side of the game. We just don't want to know it. But the big thing for me this season is the manager. Whoever we bring in has got to bring in guys that are willing to go that extra mile and fight and die for that jersey. Because we've had
that. You're talking about guys with character, mate.
Character, 100%. Yep.
You know, listen, being able to play the game is sometimes the easy bits outside that.
Aye, I mean, how many players have we got in that squad to know? I think it's two after that. I mean, I was just thinking them when Stevie was talking. 2 players, Tav and Hadji, has seen the league title. Many other players in that squad that we've got that have actually competed for a league title anywhere. You know? So we're buying in players. And you've got to aye, and some of them could have had medals in their trophies in their back pocket and that. But when you're building the squad and the thing, I think we need to go and look at people. I'm not interested if they're 21 and I've got a good sell-on value. I'd rather get somebody 23, 24 that might have even won a league somewhere, and maybe they're coming to the end of their contract and they're a decent player and we can go in and get them. And the time's right for us to go and get them. We need to get winners and leaders into the team, because that's the one thing. We've got a leadership group, but for me, it's just a lot of nonsense. No, because the leadership group, as they keep talking about it, and you could pick out as many players, well, they're not doing it right. So they're not good at their job, if that's our leadership group in there. So we need to get a freshness, and we need to get players in that are going to compete. We need to have starters. This isn't about building a team. We need 8, 9, 7 or 8 easy. You can start next season in that team. Just get right in when we buy them and they play. It's can't be pussyfooting about here. Oh, he's all right. We'll bring him in and he'll do this. Hefty needs to be better if he's still there. He's had his season. He knows what it's about. He's played all these games. He's been exposed to it. He's maybe tired now. Maybe he's getting mentally tired. Maybe sometimes in games, him, Diamondi and that they've been playing all these games and they're younger and they're maybe not being exposed to it as much. You can be making excuses. You can make excuses, right?
And bring Ridvan in. Oh, Ridvan's always injured.
Aye, I know that, but as in Yefty's, I mean, he's never been exposed to the level of games that he's playing for us.
You tell me you think he'll be better for next year? Is that what you're saying?
I would like to think, his physicality should be better. He should be able to handle the programme that we go into, because he's done it this year. It might take him another season if he's still here to be fully ready, but it takes him. Their bodies have got to cope with the demands. Maybe that's how we do pick up injuries. Maybe he's tired and he's mentally tired at times, and the team's been like that. because the team needed help. We need better players in the team. And I think as much as we're harsh on them, I know they have been decent throughout the season, like in Europe. And we've played no bad in some games, but on the whole, we've let ourselves down because we've not been, as we say, we're not up for it. And maybe that is the case with some of them. It is harder to, it's mentally challenging playing on a Thursday night. You're playing we're playing Spurs at Ibrox, and everything the adrenaline and everything it takes to play in that game on a Thursday night, and then you go and you play whoever we played on the Sunday, and whoever it is, I don't know who it was, I can't remember, but just say it was St Johnstone away. Aye, you've got to get yourself up for these games. This is the games that matter. But it's been a hard Thursday night, Friday, and some of them aren't used to coping with the demand, and they'll probably get better through the experience. And Jeffy might be one of the players, if he's still here, being so young, that will be able to cope with things like that.
They've got to up their performance rate in the Rangers first team. You know, we've got to get players that are consistent and grinding out results at times, and then when the time's right, you play well, because that's what league titles are about. You know, you're not going to play salty soccer, Rolls Royce soccer every week, Stevie. You've got to have that level of consistency. And we've got players who have been good on a Thursday and atrocious on a Sunday, you know.
That's it. Listen, you've got to look. This, don't get me wrong. Southside said this a million times. I know. The squad, the squad needs help this season. We knew that, but we didn't have the strongest of squads. Today, the Thursday night adrenaline, everything into the game, and then go and pick it up on a Sunday up in St Johnstone and places like that. You were bringing guys on, let's be honest, and they weren't making an impact. And that's still the case now. But the bottom line for me is, it doesn't matter how many people start next season, whether they've won any cups, any trophies or nothing. They should be playing for that support. They should be out there as soon as they pull that jersey on. They should be showing round the place, tell what Rangers mean to people, take them round that Founders Tale, Ian McCall, learn them about the club and get them out there fighting for the support. Never mind how many trophies they've got under their belt. You could have 200 league championships under your belt for all I care, but I want to see you out there fighting and dying every time you wear the jersey. And that's not what's happening.
I don't know if Ian McCall...
They're picking and choosing when they want to play, Ox. They're picking and choosing when they want to play. They're out there, up there for the big games, know how, all the telly's on them, all the TV's on them, they're selling themselves, you know. And then on a Sunday, they're not up for the fight.
Your point you made is if you've watched Igaman, Cortez, and who was the other one? Igaman, Cortez. In the English classes, I don't know if you've seen that. Who was the other one? There was three of them. Igaman, Cortez, or the other one.
Jeffy.
They're doing English classes, Stevie. Ian McCall's no chance at doing the Founders Trail with them, so maybe we'll go to look at our recruitment, mate. Yeah?
Aye.
You know?
Listen, I get that, but listen, they take them in these places, show them what we're about, tell them who Walter Smith was, Paul Struth, all these guys, Big Joe Wallace, all these characters. It's made our club what it is today. And listen, learn them what our support's really about. You know what I mean? I just think, honestly, see, look, you mentioned that player there. Was it, what do you call him? No, Jeffy, the other man. Cortez.
Yeah.
Listen, he's a Rangers player on his granny's side. He's never going to make a grade, that boy. Never. And you can say he's unlucky with injuries and make our excuses up you like. The boy is never a Rangers player. He's no get the fight and desire. He gives his wee flashes or something when your ears go up and you think, and then nothing. Flat as a pancake. No interest. I'm sorry. He's never going to make the grade. And nobody's going to convince me. And I don't mean to be rotten to the boy. He's just, you'd be better parting company with him. There's no way in the world we're going to pay money for that boy. Surely, if we get an obligation to buy him, or is it just a case that we can just rip it up and move on? Because I'll tell you right now, that boy's never making the grade. Never ever in your life is he making the grade.
Oh, Southside.
Well, we'll see. I hope he'll get some game time before the end of the season, because I think we need to play him. Obviously, Finlay Curtis has now picked up an injury. I'd like to have seen him. So we need to start exposing Cortez to it. I thought at Pittodrie when we were up there, Biggin didn't really give the ball away. Every time he got on the ball, he made the pass. He was back tracking, helping out Curtis in the defence at one point in the first half, battling to get the ball and booting it up apart. We need to see a lot more from him. We get that. But the formation's not going to suit him if we're playing the 3-5-2. Then wingers aren't really. He'll play Czerny, but Czerny will come in, you know. So you've seen what he does with that. He'll play that 3-5-2, I think, on Sunday. I don't think he'll change for that on Sunday, but going forward against the rest of them, I think we should be playing a back four. I don't see how this back five's really working. If you look at the record we've got and the goals that we're losing per game with the back five, apart from beating them and going through in penalties against Fenerbahce and coming back against Kilmarnock, everybody else has took 2 goals on average a game off us, so it's not really working. I don't think we create as many chances lately with it, but we'll see. He'll stick by whatever he sees best, but I don't think you'll see Cortez much in a 3-5-2 then. You know, I don't think he'll find a space for him to play, Ox.
Yeah, I get that. He's not going to play, if you like, the wing-back position, is he?
No. And you're going to be pushing your full-back up into there, so apart from Czerny getting the game, I don't think he'll play Cortez then. He's not going to fit into that system.
But who does he play on the opposite side for Czerny?
Well, if he's playing the 3-5-2, he'll just have Diamondi pushed up one.
But on the left-hand side?
He'll play a box. He might play the box style, you know, so... but Czerny will come into that team and he'll not play as an out-and-out winger, I don't think. No in the 3-5-2.
Yeah. Listen, look, I like the tactical side of the game, Stevie. I like to try and watch the game and think, right, what should the manager do? Is the system working? People take different views on it. But ultimately, football's not about tactics, and it's about doing the right thing at the right time. And you can have all the shape you like, but if you don't pass the ball to somebody with the same colour of jersey, all the system's falling. And the frustration is, like Saturday's performance, John Suter, experienced pro, getting caught in possession. I'm to Bailey Rice. We can excuse him a bit. Yeah, because he's aged. John getting caught out. Liam Kelly with the goal kicks. You know, even Raskin was arguably our best player, switched off for the goal. And Salah, a centre-half, no, he did a ball. You know, went to kick it. If he takes a step forward, they can head it away. And the goal never happens. Equaliser, the first one. You know, you can go on and on and on and on. You can have all the systems, you can have all the coaching, you can have all the best manager in the world imparting wisdom. But if you don't do the basics right, it all falls down.
But that's what you're saying. Choice making's a big part of it, mate. It doesn't matter. The manager can only give you so much information, but if you don't go out and execute it, and your choice making's off, or you make these mistakes. I mean, I just thought Rangers on Saturday were a team that looked as if they never played with each other before. They never trained with each other. They hardly played football at all. They couldn't string passes. They couldn't tackle a fish supper. Honestly, your keeper was all over the place. Big Cyril's right through and he kills a seagull. Oh, it's not even getting in target. He kills a seagull. And then he takes a harder of the chances he had. We all know he's an Enigma and everything else, but the whole team is just offline. They're just, but I don't know what's happening with them. And the one thing that you're expecting, the basics out them we're expecting, is heart, fight, and desire. And none of it. We were playing for pride there on Saturday. Give the supporters something back. Celtic have won the league a couple of hours before it. Go out there, go and give the support something back. And what did they give them back?
More questions and answers, mate. More questions and answers, you know. Aye.
Well, no, we've just built Rang, we're maybe a counter-attacking team than we are dominating the ball and then opening teams up. I mean, it's simple. We've watched it for weeks and months. In a couple of years, they'll just play their 3 centre-backs across the back. But we need to get midfielders that are willing to go at the edge of the box. We just don't have a style or a foundation of how we play, how we take the ball out for the back, where we're meant to be and how we play it. You should be able to pass a ball without actually looking, knowing where your player is. And that just comes with practice on the training field and how you set out. Okay, come on, set out the tactics at the start of the season with the 4-2-3-1. And now and again it worked really good. It worked in Europe and we were on the front foot. He never wanted to play a back five or anything like that. And it is what it is. Barry's come in and he's tinkering about with the system all the time, changing it. Players will end up that today they'll get confused of what they're meant to do, where they're meant to be. And that's why the football, Stevie, as we watched on Saturday, looks disjointed. And the 2 goals that we scored, but actually Boz played through the chant, played through players into the middle of the park, barely played a good ball to Raskin, who played it in turn to Dessers to get us a goal. And the second goal we scored was so simple. It was Suter into Diamondi. It was like a 10-yard pass, and he just passed in a straight line because Raskin had done something he hadn't been doing for a while, was getting more forward. And it felt him and he scored a good goal for it. But we don't have runners that are hitting the edge of the box when we're playing the ball down the wing. But we're putting it into the box if you've watched as many a time, and it's usually Dessers is in there, and there might be one other. Our winger doesn't even come in. Whoever's wide comes into the box to join up. He's usually outside. They don't seem to come in towards the back post in case something breaks, and we don't have midfielders running from midfield to the edge of the box where you can cut the ball back. So we play as individuals at times. I think when the ball goes forward, it's out to Cherny now, so he'll go and do something. Too many times we ever see a fullback run by him.
No,
you know,
I mean
we don't do anything repetitive at all in games where we can keep saying, right, that's the sort of style we play. We've seen it under Gerrard how we played, and then you've seen it what Gio's style was. But the style now that we've got is just whatever. He sets it up as a 3-5-2, but we're not creating a lot of chances in that. We're hitting a lot of long balls, and I think the team's not set up to go and press teams when they're sitting deep on us. There's no point in us putting a cross in the box because we don't win headers. We don't have a centre forward that can header a ball into the goal. So there's no point in us putting high balls in. We don't cut a ball back to the edge of the box because we don't have players there either.
We never get to the byline side.
No, and we don't do that very often. So for me, we just don't have a style or that now, and hopefully when the new manager comes in, all that will get put in place at the start of pre-season, and then we'll be able to see something.
Well, we'll see, mate. There's a lot of change coming. Look, come and give your thoughts, and what you think. I mean, we're going over the same things repetitively because repetitively. Need new teeth. We're going over things a lot because we're frustrated and we want change, and it's going to be interesting what happens. We're just waiting for news, and then the season's going to end quite quickly. Stevie, the manager, will need to come in. You'd like to think all these conversations are taking place, are ready to move on it, to make the announcement. He's got all his work to do, and he's got to decide. And maybe the person who's got the job already knows, and he's maybe looking at who he wants and who he doesn't want, and we'll take it from there. But we'll see. Getting rid of some of these players, as I keep saying, is going to be very difficult. We've discussed it with Albert, and Affair, and it's a point. Don't like to labour it, but it's true. But that's just modern football, Stevie. It's not just Rangers. It's every club who paid decent money have the same problems.
Listen, yeah, if some other workplaces offer nannies extra money, you're off, Skye. Look, it's just the nature, right? We get all that. Listen, and we also get there's been a mixture of the club no running right when top players are going away and we're letting their contracts run down to they're walking away for nothing. There was a mixture of stuff there and everything else. But can I ask you, right? See this whole Rangers team, defence, midfield and attack. There's not one bit of that team, the new, that I can say, well, I'm happy with the midfield or I'm happy with the forward line or the defence so we can keep Ham and keep that. I'm just absolutely looking at that team and I'm shattered looking at them. And I'm going, I would only maybe keep one or two of that whole squad if I had my way. So it's a big, big job. It's ahead of us here. And you're totally right, Ox. It's going to be murder to try and get rid of some of these boys. But I'll tell you, I mean, the wee Ulster man, right, out in the wing, he's no better than Cortez. Cortez is no better than him. And you have to.
Yes, all right. Right, we have to move on. Yeah, we have dissected, slaughtered the team, and we have to get them up. So we have to move on because look, we've done it, but we've got a game coming up on Saturday, and these games are always memorable in Southside. We've been to one or two between us, you know, particularly at Ibrox, and there's been some marvellous players historically, and we've got results when we've not been the favourite, home and away. It has been the fixture. It's always been the team that wanted it more on the day. Usually won the match. Is that fair?
Aye. Usually they used to be sort of unpredictable. I mean, you've seen it before. Like half a team turns up, you expect to win that day. You're doing well, and you get turned out, or you turn them out, and it used to happen. And Saturday is just the same in the other years, as you say, at Ibrox in some of the games. We've won. I think was a game. I think we get beat 6-2 up there. For talking sake, one of the games we come back in the game at Ibrox reversed it. Was it 4-1 or 5-1? I think it was
5-1.
5-1 to us at Ibrox. So I mean, that's how mental sometimes the games can go.
Aye. So it's up to us to go out and perform. The support will be up for it when the game starts, Stevie, and it's up to the players to deliver. But what I want to ask you two gentlemen, and listen, you haven't prepared for this, and I'm not putting these on the spot. But for memory, if you were to rate at Ibrox your three favourite victories against them, what would it be? Right, so I'll go to Southside first. You can give one, and then Stevie. We'll just do three each, yeah? We might agree on some of them, yeah? But we might differ.
I'll get one out the road that we never won, but I just wanted to put it out there. The 9-men game where the Goff scored his first goal, and that was some day at Ibrox that day.
Really?
The 5-1 game, Ray Wilkins, with Ian Andrews' debut. I think it was. That one springs to my mind straight away.
They two games were about a year apart, mate, I think.
Were they, aye?
Nah, about a year apart. One was obviously one was the start of the season 87-88, and the other one was 88-89, I think.
Big goal and goals.
Me and Stevie were a bit young for that, but aye, good picks. This Southside, aye, memorable games. Stevie, yeah,
Aye,
pick one.
the first ever televised game. David Cooper, we flipped
Are you
through
talking
to Durant.
Pathy News here, or are you talking?
What?
Are you talking Pathy News? Are you talking? It was the BBC Scotland 1986. 1986.
It was the first ever. Aye, 1986, wasn't it? It was David Cooper slipped the ball through to wee Durant, and he slipped it by Bora. We won 1-0. I think it was the first ever live league game, wasn't
it? Let me think. I think Aberdeen and Hearts had won the back end of the previous season, mate. Maybe when Hearts were going for the league, but I'd need to check that out. I've gone from memory here. But it was the first ever televised All Firm League game, definitely, on a Sunday.
Yep.
1986, maybe August 1986. And maybe that was the catalyst for that season. That's how important it is, Southside.
Aye. Giants first goal into the Rangers end at Ibrox. It was that normally sets the tone, doesn't it? You can get the first victory out the road. They usually come early in the season. Apart from one season, it nearly went to September, was it, or something, before they played it, for some particular reason. It's a bit queer, that one, but they usually come early in the third, fourth game of the season in the league, usually. And if you can get that victory straight away, it usually sets you off for how you hope the rest of the season's going to go for you.
So you've got, I mean, if you think back, you have mentioned 3 games so far, and you're talking about 86 to about 89, you know, they're all within that period there. So, right, so you've come up with 2, Stevie, you've come up with 1, but I'll come back to you, Stevie, your next one.
So my next one would be a cup game at Ibrox against them, and it was Durante stole the ball off of, was it Mikey? Oh,
Galloway.
I can't mind his name.
Galloway.
Mick Galloway, and he crossed it and big cheese banged it in and Pokey. Big Haley. Brilliant. What a night that was. What a night that was, man. That was another brilliant game at Ibrox. I know you're talking about league games, but that's just one of the ones that stuck in my mind. I know. And the night the big ginger-headed boy came on and get to, what do you call him? That was another fantastic game at Ibrox. We beat them 3-1 that night, I think it was.
Eric Bo Anderson.
Aye.
Eric Bo Anderson. Yeah.
That
Funny
was
enough,
a
mate,
brilliant
they
night.
wouldn't let us call the game off because we had a flu bug in Ibrox south side. Some things never change.
Correct.
Aye.
Yep.
Aye, that was one Walter ran down the touchline, didn't he? Celebrating.
That was a famous coup.
Mhm.
Alberts had the free kick that you see a lot. Yeah.
Aye,
what
just
a
about
night that
25
was,
yards out.
Aye, he strikes it. Aye. I think I don't know if it was New Year's Day or the second. I can't remember, but it was a New Year's fixture. Aye, okay. Your third one, Southside.
Try to think of another one now. Again, when Alberts, he scored 2 that day, I'm sure. A scissor kick, and the one he sort of went for his own half, remember? And he sort of went that major run. He'd done one at the Erg run in the Cup, I think, and we done it in the league game at Ibrox. I think we beat them 3-0 or 3-1.
Right.
Remember the game I'm talking about?
Alberts gets a double. Let me think about it. I'll think about it, mate. He was good against them, Big George, wasn't he?
Aye, he could score it. It was a similar goal to one he'd scored up there. In the Cup, I'm sure it was. He weaved for one off to, I mean, he just went up and just slotted it right in the corner. Done similar at Ibrox, I'm sure. I think, or maybe was that the one Gaza scored with a header as well? Maybe only got one.
That was 2-0 that day. Gaza got the second goal. Yeah, and
Big George got the first one.
I'll check that out for you, but I'll tell you what. Anybody wants to check that out? Yeah, Southside. That was the day that Frankie the Tory gets 7 winners. There's an interesting fact for you. And that Mary has winners all season. Yeah. Yes, what a night that was. In fact, what a weekend. Stevie, last one.
I was going to just mention that one there, a Gaza diving header, but my good colleague there has just mentioned it. I'll go for
Come on.
I can't even think. I can't think. Give me a minute.
Come on. He's struggling, eh?
I'm struggling, am I? Right.
I'd have went for Defoe's goal when he scored in the 4-1 game or something.
Briggsman loves the Edu moment. Briggsman always goes for the Edu moment, yeah?
Aye.
Big Highlanders was a good day, I know. I remember that. The header, mind. Big Highlander.
Stevie G's. Was that Stevie G's last All Firm game?
I think it was, wasn't it?
That may have been.
Oh, was it?
Aye, may have been. August that season, aye. Aye.
Was it, aye?
Aye, there you go.
Oh, no. We played them behind closed doors during COVID. That was the 55 season, wasn't it? So it was the season after that, wasn't it?
Start of the season, mate. Big Hollander comes and headed it. Balogun playing it right back. Yeah. I think the Robbie McCrory was in goals for memory, Southside.
I think he was.
He was excellent.
Ryan Jack, we won 1-0 Ibrox, wasn't it? Ryan Jack scored it.
That was 2 seasons previous, mate, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You know, but aye.
Who Scott Brow's leg?
Aye, you're right, mate. Aye, you're right. Some interesting memories there.
Yarfield celebrating. Remember when he scored in the salute to the support?
That was a similar game. That was at the end of the season when we got the goals, and that was a great move actually. To follow the wee dummy, if you remember that Southside, yeah, and Yarfield just kept running.
Aye.
That's right.
Good score. Me man was good for us, so he was Scott Yarfield. You know, he wasn't one of the players that'd go and beat 3 and 4 players and all that and thingy, but he just arrived in the box at the right time. And could always go on the end of things, couldn't he?
I'll tell you what, we get that much into it and doing memory rewind, we'll miss the tune, so get yourself some mute. We're gonna have a tune.
I don't know if you can see what the Rangers really mean to me in these last few years. I've been afraid that we might drift away, so I've been telling old stories and singing songs that made me think about where we came from, and that's the reason why I feel so very proud today. So let me tell you that I love you, and I think about you all the time. Ibrox Stadium is calling me, and now I'm coming home. To think of life without the Rangers, you know that it would make me more sad. Glasgow Rangers, you're everything I've ever had. Of Brian Laudrup and Trevor Stephen. Big Marvin Andrews said keep believing. Davy Cooper on the wing. And we remember Gaza with great affection. The day the helicopter changed direction, and Jimmy Baxter was pure perfection. Super Valley scores again. So let me tell you that I love you, and I think about you all the time. Ibrox Stadium is calling me, and now I'm coming home. To think of life without the Rangers, you know that it would make me more than sad. Glasgow Rangers, you're everything I've ever had. About you all the time. Ibrox Stadium is calling me, and I'm coming home. To think of life without the Rangers, you know that it would make me more sad. Glasgow Rangers, you're everything I've ever had. Without the Rangers, you know that it would make me more than sad. Glasgow Rangers is everything I've ever had.
Why don't you give us a call on 0141 356 1972. It's your show, it's your platform. Let's hear from you.
Some great memories there. Some great memories. Top 3 goals, mate, against them at Ibrox. A lot of them might be in some of the games Southside. Yeah.
Aye. Well, obviously Ray Wilkins springs to mind, no the volley.
I thought Jonas Tern's goal was a better strike than that. Yeah.
Mhm.
I mean,
Aye, fair. Aye.
I thought Jonas Tern's goal was an absolute unbelievable strike. There's a blast for the pasta.
Lewis McLeod no smash one similar.
Lewis McLeod? No, I'm not sure if he ever played against him, mate. Was that the boy Jamie Ness?
Jamie Ness, it was. That's who it was.
Different
Jamie
kind
Ness.
of goal. That was a cup time, mate. But Jonas
Jamie
Tern,
Ness.
any younger bears out there, like old Davey and that, check that one out if you want to see a goal. Jonas Tern, them. Yeah. What a strike. Remember it, Stevie?
Oh, remember it well. It was the net before God got in. It was absolutely fantastic strike out of this world. Aye, there's been a few crackers. I remember another cracking game. Was it 4-2? Big Kyle Lafferty scored. Was it 4-2 we beat them that day? Big Lafferty. Barry Ferguson scored, I know. He stuck one past the keeper, I know. Can't mind who else scored that game. But that was another cracking game.
I think Naismith scored that day. I think so. I'll check it.
Aye.
I think so.
Aye.
Did David Healy?
4-2, I think you beat him.
Did he come on? Or was he involved in a goal? Can't remember. Aye.
Who?
Too. That was. I'll tell you what. Do you know who the manager was that day, Stevie?
Advocate.
Ali McCoist.
No.
Ali
Was it
McCoist was the manager.
There you go.
Mm-hmm.
There you go. I can't even mind
that
long ago.
The top league that first season, he won his 2 home games, Southside, yeah?
Mhm. No, I was just thinking we were strikes outside the box when you were talking about Jonas Tern. Arthur Newman had a good goal against him into the Copeland. Aye. Jan Bartram even scored against him, I know. Pass for the past.
Sure that landed his shin, yeah?
It's a decent goal he scored, is it not?
Aye, it was all right.
Into the box.
Terry Hurlock, no good one, no. Not a bad
He
strike.
did, mate. He did. What was that game famous for, Southside? Stevie?
Sending off.
No, there was no away fans. There was no away fans.
All right. Actually, I ended up 1 each start. Aye.
They scored first, aye. They scored first.
Big Hurlock.
Aye.
I think it was John Collins that scored against us, wasn't it?
Aye.
Aye, some marvellous goals, yeah. You know, some great memories.
So I've got to say, the 4 each game was some game and all. You know, you're talking about Southside was talking about big golfs to get through. You'll never hear a roar like that Southside at Ibrox. That was just nuts, wasn't it, when Goff get that goal? The roar on the telly, man. Wow, man.
It was in the enclosure that day. Bedlam in the enclosure.
Aye, and Graham Roberts, remember, he was conducting the choir. Brilliant, man. Absolutely brilliant. So it was. Well, that was like a victory that day, wasn't it? Down to 9 men. And Big Goff get that big leg round there, tucked it away, but the roar. But see the 4 each game, I've got to say, what a game that was. There were some cracking goals in that game. Cammy Fraser, McCoy's got a couple. Who else scored?
Fleck, I think. Robert Fleck.
Aye. Yep. Aye, wee Flecky, aye. Aye. Unreal. What a game that was.
But pouring
honestly,
what? Pouring a rain. Stoughton. And I remember I had a... When you go Southside.
It's just saying he should never have beat him for 30 years or something, man. Was it Nicky Walker, wasn't it, I think?
Aye.
Should never have beaten
Loved
for
him
that
at Clyde.
distance.
And
Aye.
whose last Old Firm game was that?
Whose last Old Firm game was that?
Mm-hmm.
Was the McGarvey, was it? No.
Oh, Jock Wallace's.
Not Joe Waller. Is it?
Aye, that's just I think the week after that, this thing started to break about Souness coming in, mate.
David Holmes.
Aye, 1986. Yeah,
Listen, I'm going to tell you something. That was just crazy, wasn't it? That was just crazy when he got announced in the tickets. My God. I mean, it was just total turn its head. Scottish football was totally turned its head, wasn't it?
Mm-hmm. Let's hope it can be done, mate, if you get it right. It can be done. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Oh, but I think we finished fifth in the league that season. Southside from memory, 85-86, yeah. We just qualified. I think it was I was going to say the D the last game, but Hearts got beat by the D. Motherwell maybe at Ibrox, and that qualified us for Europe. You know, and we finished fifth, and then we beat them in the Glasgow Cup final. Yeah.
Aye. Listen, we could be doing with a Super Ali or a Hoffery players that we talked about in our team. It would make a difference. I even shot ad for Ladzy. I liked him and all. He was a good player. You know, he done all right when he was at Ibrox. Done all right for us. Scored against Copenhagen away. I think we beat them 1-0. That night. And he scored against them. I think the 2 games we beat them in November. And one of the games was November the 10th. I had the lads. I think we went into extra time, maybe. If my memory serves me right.
The
cup time went into. Aye. I know I said we played them twice, but one was the league, one was the cup.
Quarter-final of the League Cup, maybe beat them in the league.
You know what we need now? Do you know what player we would love now? A big puzzle. Big dado, man. Somebody would put their head anywhere. Fight for a jersey. That man was a warrior. He fought. Look at that. Huh?
He could play.
Oh, 100%. Aye. Oh, aye, you knew where to be, all right. Oh, read the game. Oh, but I'll tell you one thing, man. He'd have put his head anywhere. Who was it against that night in Europe, man? His head was... Man, he headed the ball, nearly knocked his cell out. Never mind the boy. Can't remember who that was against. The blood was everywhere.
Yeah, but
what a player, Big Dado.
We're talking about all these guys, they're legends and different things and all that. You know, there might not have been 2 games in a row, and they've took 3 off them at Parkhead and 3-0 comfortably at Ibrox, you know. But I think that's where that praise we gave them for their results outside is born in some of the frustrations. So they've shown they can do it, mate.
Aye. I mean, the game at New Year, we came out of traps and we battered them 3-0. And even up there, in the last game, and even in the cup tie, where we took 3 off them as well, and we just couldn't get the job done in penalty kicks. But aye, we can score goals. We know we've got players in our squad that can score against them and have done. It's just about hopefully we turn up and play. And we've got players that won for them and what they've been doing recently in Europe and stuff. Won their game, we have showed up well. So it's just like you say, you don't know what team's going to turn up, but should they apply themselves right on Sunday, we've got a good chance of beating them again. You know their style. And we've adjusted to it, and we've worked well as a unit in the last 3 games that we've played. So hopefully we continue that and we can go and play our end game, create chances and stick the ball in it. And there's no reason why we couldn't score 3 against them again at Ibrox.
Stevie?
Listen, that's the annoying thing. No, Southside's right there. Listen, we will take goals after them. But the problem we've got is we're in defences like Eastern or not. But the bottom line for me, Southside, is we will score against them. That's the angry thing here. this team's capable of being up for the big games. It's against the trash, what we would call the lower list teams, that we'll let our guard down. And we're no up for that fight. We're just no up. I don't want to get back to it because we're talking about the Old Firm game. I think we'll win. I definitely think we'll win on Saturday. And then you go, my God, look what we've done in Paisley. That'll be forgot about. And then we beat Celtic. And then you'll get back and you'll do the most Rangers thing ever. You'll get back to playing as if you've never kicked a ball before. That's no good enough for us all. I mean, surely when you beat your greatest rivals, momentum's with you, and it lifts the place, and you get into the next game. We don't know what Rangers is going to turn up.
Aye. And also, to back up your point, and some of these players, we've critiqued them, and rightly so, when they've done badly. But when you think back at the games, they just stand-alone games. We've been fulsome in our praise Southside, There's some of the guys that have stood up and played really well in both of the games. In fact, the game at Ibrox, 3-0 actually flattered them, didn't it?
Aye, and we could have been made up as well at their place, in the first half. Aye, and the Ibrox, they were right on. We were on it for the start. We came out of traps, and we were right on it for the first whistle. Listen, you'll always give chances up against them from time to time, but see, to be honest, Kelly hardly had a save to make, and even up there, he didn't have very much today because we stopped him going down the channels like they like today and trying to whip the ball across the 6-yard box. We kept him pretty quiet. And we won the midfield battle. We done what we had today, which got us up the park, created chances, and we took them. Because one thing is, they'll give you chances. It's just about making sure that you take them at the right time. That's what changes goals, change games, and especially in a game like that, you want to take the lead, like we have in the last two. So I don't fear. I just think that the players will be up for this game coming up. And I don't fear it at all. They'll want to come and beat us, make no mistake about that. Whether they've won the league or no, they don't want to go away for Ibrox with a defeat. They're going to have some of their support in the ground as well, and they'll want to make sure that they do a number on us. But it's down to us as a club and the players, first and foremost, to make sure that doesn't happen, Ox. And I think we'll be well up for it on Sunday.
Listen, we should. They've won the league, so we should just remind them of their history. Yeah, Sunday. Yeah. So aye, but our players, mate, if they're up for it, I'm not saying people are playing for their futures, but you've just got to show that desire and see where it takes us. We're going to have a new manager coming in, and if the manager has been selected or it's done the process, he'll be watching that game anxiously wherever he is in the world, yeah? Be it Turkey, Liverpool, wherever he is, Stevie, yeah? He'll be watching it, yeah? If some of the names that have been mentioned pan out to be true, but he'll be looking for guys that he can hang my hat on him. And at the moment, there ain't many, but guys have to turn around a career. And we talked about, when you talked about Souness coming in and how exciting that was. Whoever thought Stuart Monroe would be a guy who played week in, week out? Yeah, it happens, mate. People can change their career, and sometimes a new face just takes to somebody, and bang, somebody who's average becomes good, Stevie.
Correct. Look, I just see whoever comes in, Ox. I just want the fans to get behind the guy, and the board to get behind the guy, and galvanise these three ingredients. If we can do that, we can give ourselves a right good chance. And it's very, very important that we get this manager back. Listen, Ox, can I ask you, out of the rumours, who do you fancy out of the rumours? Who do you think? You're talking about the guy for Dortmund. You're talking about Gerrard, the guy for Dortmund.
Marco Rose, Gerrard and Marino, was that what you're saying?
Aye, who was the Bodo Glimt fella? I'm telling you, wasn't it? They were the kind of four. Out of the four.
Well, the Bodo Glimt guy, what he's done has been remarkable. Marino in the game is unbelievable, yeah. He's 62. Yeah, I would be scared that it would become a circus. Marco Rose, German coaches are coming to the fore. You look what the guy with Crystal Palace has done. The guy that we went up against in Seville. That team, yeah. But I don't know why. Just if you give me the four, mate, I usually get pulled towards a British manager, and that pulls you towards Stevie G. But there's part of me thinks, well, you had your chance and you walked away. I understood why you walked away, and I don't think it was what a lot of people think. And my take on that, Stevie?
Aye, give me your take on that, aye.
Aye, okay. So, at the time, Stevie G, and let's be really honest with you, he maybe thought he would have been progressing towards a Liverpool job. And if he felt, for various reasons, he took us as far as he could because of the economics of the club. There was only certain clubs in England at that time I think he could have went in. The three clubs at the time were, in my opinion, were Aston Villa, Newcastle and Leeds United. Because he wasn't getting the Manchester job, he wasn't getting the Everton job, and the London clubs wouldn't have been attracted to Stevie G because he was seen as a Liverpool legend, in my opinion. And I don't think he was going to clubs who have kicked on, but clubs like Burnley, maybe Bournemouth, etc., who would have been traditionally at the bottom. So I think there was only 3 jobs for him as a springboard, and one of them come up, and that's one of the reasons. Now, whether he done that consciously or subconsciously, I don't know, but that I understood it at the time. I don't think I've ever said that on air, but that was my take on it. There might have been reasons at Ibrox also that pushed him that way. We'll never know that, but that was my take on it. So if he got it right and if he was coming in, that would suggest to me there's been big promises made to him to come in. If Mourinho come in, it would also suggest there's been big promises made Southside, yeah, because they're not coming in to fail, are they? So if you're asking me to pick in preference to them, it would be Gerrard, Mourinho, Rose, and the Bobo Glenn.
Okay.
All right.
What about my wingman?
To be honest, Stevie, I haven't really given it much of a thought. I just wanted to see who they announced, and then if we know him, he's got a name, then he's done something, or he's in a job, or he's whatever, he's coming out of a job to come to us, then we'd have an idea. Stevie G, I like the fact of he's not got the experience really, and I know he's been to Aston Villa and he didn't do too great there, and he's went to
Saudi Arabia. He's only there a year, wasn't he?
Aye, but I get he was a winner when he first came in. I thought brilliant. He's a winner. He's a world class football player in my eyes. He was up there. And I thought he'll bring professionalism and all that to the club, which he did, and he transformed a lot of things in the background and done that. But he needed Michael Beale at the time to help him. That's why he brought him, because he knew he couldn't do this himself. Same as he brought Milson and he brought Culshaw. He brought them to help him. And he brought Gary Mack in. So he's a bit to me like Barry is. He's a figurehead. He's an icon football player. He can attract players. Players might want to come and play for him because he's Stevie G. But is he tactically aware? Now, Critchley's been sacked. He was his assistant at Aston Villa. I don't believe there's any way, any shape or form that Michael Beale will ever get back to Ibrox under it in any capacity. So if he is picked to come back and that's who they want, then we'll need to see who his tactician's going to be, because I think that's going to be critical in how we set up and how we play Ox if he comes in.
I understand that, mate. It's a good answer. You know, but it'll be interesting, you know. And Mr. Fox has got a theory. He thinks the assistant manager that's been there consistently in the last few months has been part of the original the takeover, and he's going to be involved in the new management setup. But watch your space. I mean, the question you asked me was the ones that had been rumoured, Stevie. I'm not saying they would be my first choice, but the 4 you named, that's how I would rate them, yeah.
I get it. Listen, Southside said that it's something that I've even thought about. You just see all these names coming up. I mean, and you go, right, Stevie G, I didn't like the way he left. Is he the tactical man? He would need to bring somebody with him. So that's baggage and all the rest of it. And I'm thinking to myself, the big German boy, nah, no. The Bodo Glimt guy for me, out day 4, I think he would be my first choice out of day 4, but look, it is what it is, but no matter who it is, I'll get behind him and try and give the guy the best start we can, but I just hope we get it right. I hope these boys come in, are buying the club out, get it right, and really support the guy by giving him a few bob, So, I mean, that's just fingers and toes crossed,
It's going to be interesting, and it'll sort of signal what we're going, where we're going with this, if you like, new projects outside, won't it? The managers, the catalyst for all the time.
Well, he adds to a point, but I think Thelwell is going to be a big catalyst towards it because he's the director of football and he's the guy, something that we've been missing since Wilson left. Somebody that can make sure players when they're running contracts, doing somebody that's stayed in there and knows what's happening, and his responsibilities that he's got. Now, whether he's going to have an input in a lot of players or no, or we'll see what happens with Cotton if he's going to work with him closely, or is he going to get moved on and he'll be the man that might have maybe a say in who we bring to the club and his ideas. But we've got somebody there now that's going to be responsible for it, and it's something that we've probably needed for a wee while. And we never had that structure in place, which allowed other managers to go out and just sort of, Michael Beale get the keys to go and get whoever he wanted, and there was nobody there to see right or aye or not him. And it was just the way the board let it go. So we've got a structure in place. We need to have a philosophy and a style of football. That's what we'll need to have. And I take it as him and whoever else that he works with will set that strategy out. And then once we've got that strategy set out, we'll pick a manager that suits that strategy. And that's the way we go. And I think that's the way most clubs work it. They've got a strategy and a style that they're going to go, and they get a manager to fit that. Then they get the players in to fit the manager's style, and they're meant to be able to go. And hopefully the players that you bring in will work straight away and kick on. And we're not waiting about saying in a year's time or 6 months, I hope he gets better. He's just taking a while to settle in. None of the young boys or anybody else that comes to the club get all this time to settle in. So they're not going to get it. The qualifiers are coming up soon. And we need to be ready to go.
Aye, and it'll also be interesting, but I'll be really intrigued with what the first signing is. I know that it could be an outside right, and I'm waiting for a centre half to be the first centre. I get that. It doesn't always work out like that in priority, but I'll be intrigued to see what happens, Stevie. I'm really intrigued how this is going to go. Right, come and give your thoughts. We digressed there, and I'm doing a tangent with the new manager because we can't get away from the takeover, if we're honest, Stevie, because it's a big talking point at the club, and we're all speculating. We're guessed on the new manager. Total rumours, nothing concrete, nothing to back it up in it.
That's it. Just rumour, mate. Just bears talking amongst bears. That's it. Everybody's different. Everybody's gonna. You said out of day 4, probably Gerrard. Can't mind what Southside says, but I'm going for the Bodo Glimt guys. So they're 3 bears and probably 3 different. But I fancy him. You just need to wait and see. But it's all down to it. Listen, I keep saying it on fingers and toes, never and crossed. We need to get a manager that really has got his game plan in place. He knows who he's bringing in. He knows he can breed a player we're all looking for here, man. And he does his homework and stuff, And I just hope the board, the 69er boys, or 49er boys, they back him up to the halt with a right few quid. Sorry about that, boys.
You might attract a few players if that was.
In here.
By the way, he picked up the 3 bears. If the 3 bears go for it, it'll be Goldilocks will be the manager's Southside, won't it?
Just want somebody. I know I dare say they'll have a good idea. They'll have some candidates I mean, I know Thelwell's come in, but he would have known maybe a wee bit sooner than what we were all told he was coming in and all that. And I dare say they'll have something in place, and that Steinson guy, Grieger Steinson, will have an input they were saying into it as well. So I think we'll be quite far down the road with that, with candidates. Maybe one or two that might be in the game. If we're going to get down that road and it's no somebody out of work, then it might be maybe have to wait to get permission to talk to the club or whatever. But I think they'll have a good idea of what sort of direction we're going in Oxford the minute they get the keys at Ibrox.
Mm-hmm. Aye, it's going to be intriguing. It's going to give us a bit to talk about, you know, and who's going to think me, because I think the point you made is the Europe's on tappy before you know it. We're moving into May tomorrow, you know, and the season's obviously panning out and will be done shortly. And then obviously nothing really happens usually for a couple of weeks. And then we're looking for bang, bang, bang. If we're really honest, Stevie, that's what the support's looking for.
Listen, it's going to move quick. I think once it's announced that these guys are running the show, I think things will just... Look, they've already got probably things in place. They just can't announce it till the I's are dotted, the T's are crossed, you know. I just think that once that happens, things will just fall into place one after the other. I think there's already been stuff done and dusted, probably. And I think it will happen very quick. I hope it does happen quick. I hope it does drag out, because we're all just wanting get these guys in place, get the manager and have a good pre-season, and let's see who we're going to sign in that before we go in with pre-season, you know. So we want it to happen quick. We want to see who we've got to play with. We want to start gelling the players and getting them to know each other, get a team together, get a team organised. You know, so, because, listen, there's got to be changes. I'm sorry, I don't want to keep getting back to it, but there's guys there that I just can't see Efty, I just can't see Cortez, I can't see young McCausland, I can't see even Bailey Rice, and I'm probably being unfair to Bailey Rice as a young boy, maybe not getting in as much and everything, but I just can't see us going places with all these guys and that squad. I really can't. We've got nothing for them. They've regressed. Young McCausland, when he first came in, we went, wow, breath of fresh air. He's got to be good in this boy. He's just went back away. Yefty, he's got one quality you need in football, his pace. He doesn't use it. He gets the ball and he either goes across the park or back away. He's free to go a run with the ball. He's free to get, and that's his strengths. I don't want to get back to into saying who I would want there next season, whatever. I just hope whoever comes in has got good players in mind. I don't want any more projects. I want good seasoned players with a bit of guile about them, a bit of fight and determination. I know, but if I've got to pay money to get these players in, so be it. I would rather buy 2 or 3 cracking, serious, good players than 4 or 5 or 6 projects. Oh, he'll be good and all this, and you're gambling. I know everything's a gamble, but you're wanting. We need guys to hit the ground running.
Aye, I get it, mate. So that was an interesting start on Monday night, wasn't it? When we chatted, and it was about guys like Matondon and Lawrence who'd come in the club together, you know. But that's what we can't offer. They deserve value for money. We know that people get injured, but no constantly injured and no in the team and out for 6 weeks, back in the squad for 3 weeks and out for 6. It's just unbelievable. You know, and when I look, by the way, I'm no problem blaming Bidvan. We played him in Bilbao. He should never been on the pitch outside. Never. Yeah? You seen all the tape, these legs. He had an issue, mate. It was a crazy decision.
A gamble that you're taking that you hope might work out, and it didn't work out, to be perfectly honest. Sports scientists, I think Barry's maybe put that in the back burner a wee bit, and then maybe that's the result of it, that he had to go off. Players don't get a lot of rest either in the modern game.
Well,
I mean, if there'd been anything, aye. Aye, just come side for us. You can have a holiday for a while. But no, we've got to get that better as well. Medical staff in the background. We need to get a new doctor. Dr. Waller's leaving at the end of the season. And whatever we did in the background, I don't think we did as many injuries. If I think back to when Culshaw and Milson were in the background doing all that stuff with Stevie G, I don't think we picked up as many injuries. I think as a squad, we took some, but I don't think we're anything like we've been recently. And I think that fitness helped Gio when he came in, because that squad were totally fit. And they just carried on playing, as you've seen the amount of games they were playing, extra times and everything, throughout that season and got to the final. So fitness then, I think, wasn't a big problem. So I think usually it's a pretty clean bill of health throughout the season for most of the majority of our players. But the problem is we don't have the quality on the bench to strengthen our squad when players take injuries. Okay, you can count Matondo and Lawrence, like we say, but if you've got quality other players there, you maybe miss them. But for what they're getting paid, it's draining our finances. But we've not even got quality to come in and replace them at times. And as you see, we buy players like Bezrami to come in and try and do what Lawrence and Matondo's not been doing, and we pay 4.3 million, and he's had an indifferent season, and he's 27 years of age, and he plays at a decent level at Albania and that. But for us at the moment, he's been struggling. So we've took that gamble, and that's not worked. And obviously they too, I'd hope Matondo goes out the door along with Lawrence at the end of the season. He's got to go out. Matondo, he's just not produced anything. A waste of a jersey, mate, to be honest.
Aye. All right. Mr. Fox is tipping Liam Rossignol of Strasbourg to be the new manager. There you go. There you go. You heard it here first, Stevie.
And he's fell off his chair and all.
Is he?
I've heard one. I can't remember the guy's name. I get told one a day. Is he manager of or was the manager of the national team for America? Can't remember. He's supposed to have been doing all right earlier, but listen, this is a different kettle of fish when you come to Rangers. It's no Strasbourg.
If you think about it, there is a 1-1 and Stevie G coming back, because obviously there's a gap for the tactics guy, and if I'd done that, I could get used comps for all the away games. It's a 1-1, isn't it?
Aye, it sounds all right.
Aye, know what I mean?
Get your name mentioned. We'll get your name mentioned then, right? We'll fling it in.
You know, tactical genius. Stevie's fell off his seat and he's away Googling. He always hits the wrong buttons when he Googles, and he ends up in the same sites all the time, south side, doesn't he?
I think he's back.
Oh, how did I end up here?
I'm a 10-minute free view, man.
Well, that's a long kettle, that south side, 10 minutes.
Aye, he's not got a kettle that lasts 10 minutes, no chance.
Right, okay, aye. It's going to be interesting. It's really going to be interesting, as we keep saying, you know, and we're speculating, we're having a bit of fun, we're mentioning names, with no real substance behind it. You know, the clickbait. Yes.
Ox, do you think they'll rename the stadium?
I'm hearing a phone provider's coming in. Colour you like.
The future's bright.
What did you make of yesterday's story, the Red Bull one? Yeah, I mean, it looks as if it's came from some decent sources. Yeah, and if they're buying out the contract they've got for the other company, it shows intent, doesn't it? To up the revenue streams, yeah, and that is a world brand. You know, and that means we're on the Jaeger bombs now, isn't it?
Oh. Alright. Red Bull and vodka. Here we go, man.
Here we go, Southside, yeah.
I'll stein after him. See what they do at your heart rate. No. If you're doing, you yourself a homer, Stevie, or didn't have a name.
Is that right enough, Ox? Is that coming for good sources?
It's came for reasonable sources, mate. Yeah, it's came for reasonable sources. Not saying it's true, because listen, there's a lot of stuff out there. I don't know if you've seen the is it Goody for Radio Clyde trying to say that the 49ers were here because of issues. Did you see the statement the guy made in STV about the stadium? It's a nice place, yeah. Words to that effect. 3 words, yeah. You know, but they just try and mischief make all the time because they don't like it happening Southside. They don't like it.
As there's been rumours that the boy that helped broker the deal, I think his second name's Mason.
Well, we should have met him at Ibrox if you ask me, if I'm being honest. You know?
Him and I can't remember the other boy's name, but there was 2 Scottish guys anyway are there working, and they're thinking that they might be potential investors into the club as well. So there's rumours circulating that they might be involved going forward as well. It's getting the revenue streams up. That'll help us spend more money. I've got a feeling that people out there think they're not going to. Listen, we were roughly spending about 15 million. If you look at what we've got sitting there to bring in money-wise, we should be able to get money for Davis and Dow. And even if they don't go to Birmingham, somebody else might have had a look at them while they've been playing down there and might want to sign them. Lawrence goes out the door, Hadji goes out the door, as you said, which is saving in wages. Opposite, we've been shelling out. There'll be 1 or 2 others will go proper, probably go back in that. So there's money. Dessers should probably attract attention, probably get sold. Danilo might even have to go and all. So, and there's people will be screaming Cortez and everybody else, right? But for them, as we're just talking now, and maybe Raskin might get a bid in, because at the end of the day, he's got 2 years left in his contract. And it's probably now be either say to him, extend it by whatever, or you'll probably have to go. Because if you give him another season, he might just want to run his contract down in the last season. That's how we got him, with 6 months to go. So we'll have to make a decision on him. But for the rest of them, and maybe if a bid comes in for Gefty or our goalkeeper, there's money there to come in, Ox. No, there will be money there to come in. Whatever the figure will be, and whatever we ask for, and what the offer is, and the transfer fee. But there's money to come in, and there should be decent money to come in. You'd expect them to at least get 12 to 15 million pound in for them alone, never mind flinging Jack Butland into it.
Well, the trouble is, mate, if somebody's wanting to buy one of your players listening to your show, they're not buying any of them.
Aye, well, they might this time we just talk a lot of nonsense because they're doing all right down there at Birmingham. Although they might agree with Scott, right?
I don't know what's happened to him down there. My mate, that was brilliant, wasn't it? I couldn't believe that day. You couldn't make that up, could you?
No, you could not. It was funny.
Dear, that was comedy gold. Hi, Stevie, listen, people come and go all the time. You know, must be hard for a young boy now to try and get their favourite players because they're always moving. At every club, it's part of the game's changed, eh?
Oh, the game's changed, all right, Ox. There's no 2 ways about it. You know, it's just, you know, even the way teams are managed now, you know, I mean, I'm old-fashioned, you know. I'd like to think that still, even at this day, there's players getting pinned against the wall, and there's arguments going on between players and that, and the captains in and about it in the dressing room. I just can't see that anymore. And across the board, I just can't see that anymore. I think they just they get and their heads get down and that's it. They have a couple of numbers, maybe a wee couple of home truths the next day at training, and they move on. They draw a line. I don't think there's any argy-bargy and sticking one on each other out like. The game's changed big. Even the way it's reffed and VAR and all the rest of it, and even all this carry-ons with tickets, the price of tickets and everything else. The whole package is absolutely lost in Scotland, I think. The whole lot of it is gone. There's surely intelligent people out there that can bring a better deal, a better package for fans across the board. And talk to the fans. Don't talk to each other. Talk to the fans and ask the fans how do we better this.
Did you see the story it broke yesterday? That they couldn't come to
No.
a consensus about the top league? Yeah. And I asked the question last night, and I'm going to ask you two gentlemen who go home and away, right? Home and away. And these are always good neighbours as well. I just have to get that in there. Crap joke, but I know. Right, the 4 times a season, yes or no? South side.
No, I'm sick of it, but it's an offer me, but it's not going to change, is it, to be honest?
No, just Stevie, yes or no?
No.
No, you'd rather play the Partick Thistle Falkirk, yeah, United Dunfermline than play St Johnstone twice, Motherwell twice. Yeah, what's the difference? Yeah, you know, but the self-interest group will know where to go. It's not worked. It's not worked. 50-year experiment, but I've said my piece enough. But interesting to see what you think. Now that statement came out yesterday, Stevie. So did another story, Brett, but that's another story. So we just got to remind them of their history on Sunday. So, right, Stevie, you're not going to be on. Who's going to be the main players for us on Sunday? What are you thinking?
Listen, Pat, you're number one and your big Cyril, innit? Your forward line and your goalkeeper. Your goalie's got to be on it, and Big Cyril's got to be on it. He's got to take his chances. He can't be in front of goal and no make a keeper work or no get. No, I mean, he's got to do the business here. He's got to take his chances. See if he takes every chance that he gets, we'll thrash them. We will beat them by at least 2 clear goals. If Big Cyril takes, Big Cyril's always getting chances. He needs to take them. He needs to take every one. Maybe this will be the game where it does click for the big guy and he gets a hat-trick against them or something. You know, hopefully this is a one. But I've got to say, Cyril has got to take his chances and our keeper's got to be on it. And by the way, games are won and lost in the middle of the part, aren't they? The games are won and lost in the middle of the part, so you're hoping guys like Raskin are right on it. And he has been, to be fair to the boy, he's been no bad. He's been doing all right for us, Raskin. And he does need a horn, yes, you're right.
Southside, same question to you, mate.
We're up against 13 men on Sunday, aren't we? Nick Walsh and Frank Connor. Imagine getting Frank Connor running the line at Ibrox on Sunday.
Deliberate.
You couldn't make it up, could you?
Deliberate.
Obviously, your goalkeeper, I always say in these games, even in Europe, but in games against them, your goalkeeper, as we've seen in the past, for our goalkeepers for the past are usually decent and come up with big games. So, goalkeeper, and I just think we've just got to midfield. We've got to make sure we win the midfield battle. And track your runners, because when we've not got the ball, you know, they'll be running into spaces, and everybody that gets picked on Sunday has to track runners when we're off the ball. But on the ball, then we get forward and we go and impose ourselves on them, and we know if we create chances, there'll be goals there for us. And like you say, if it falls to Big Cyril, should he be picked on Sunday, then hopefully he'll stick it in the net, or whoever else it falls to. But we need 11 players to turn up on the day and play. I think Barry and the line what they want today in the game, but I'd like to think with the crowd, home crowd, will certainly hear us for the stands. I'd like to think that'll give them the adrenaline and we'll go on it for the front foot. And there's no reason why we can't stick 3 goals by them again.
Mm-hmm. Listen, I think the Connor thing's deliberate, mate, because I think he might be coming to the end of his career, yeah, and they'll want to go it, and it might be they'll try and goad. It's deliberate, mate. You can see right through it, mate. Don't insult people's intelligence, yeah. We can see what they're up to. It's so blatant. It's unbelievable, yeah. The guy should have been finished after that VAR decision. Finished, yeah.
Well, should you remember the other day we spoke about it and we didn't know, and I says it'll either be Walsh or Clancy. That's who I thought it would be. So we get Walsh, and then you get the bonus. They give you Frank Connor and Andrew Dallas in the VAR room.
I would imagine they're hoping that Mr. Connor gets a welcome and then they can blame the support, for the abuse he takes. You can see it, mate. It's so
Aye, 100%.
So we just need to be smart. We need to be smart, yeah. But anyway, carry on, Stevie.
I was going to say, we need to be smart, so put your hammer in a poly bag. Sorry, boys. I'm going to HR.
There is other tools available.
That's unbelievable, isn't it? By the way, listen, they know if we beat them 3 in a row, you know, the wee mind will living rent free, you know, even though they've won the league, they will be disgusted with that Celtic team. Trust me, 3 in a row. So they're flinging everything at it, aren't they? You know, listen, the Bridgeman has been warning us for years and years about the BBC, the top to bottom, the SPFL, referees. Bridgeman's been on it, and that's why he's a legend on this show. And by the way, they're there at it again. No, they're you just said it yourself, Southside. We're playing 12 men, you know, and it's bad enough trying to beat them by VAR. Aye. And the rest. Aye. Well, there you go. That's what the Rangers are up against. But listen, you know that. Oxo's that. I know that. That Rangers team know that before they go. So that's more that they should be. They're bit against the bit between the teeth gone. Look, they're even trying to cheat us. Let's go out here today and spank this mob, man. You know what I mean? They must know. I mean, surely Fergie said, "Oh, what's going on here?" You know what I mean? He's meant to be one of us. Surely he must be like, what's going on with the officials? Come on. Every time it happens, I've been saying it, there's the boy with the scar, he's got like a metal plate, and you see the linesman. You watch the big decisions he keeps against the Rangers, mate. You watch it. I'm telling you now, believe me when I tell you, we'll need to be right on it on Saturday. And honestly, you'll need to score at least 2 clear goals to beat them, because the ref's going to give them everything that they can within reason. And see, when we score, it'll be checked back 5 minutes to make sure nobody breathed on the ball or handled the ball halfway up the park. They'll take it right back, but when they score, it'll be, no, everything's all good. We don't need to check back. Watch how quick it all happens. Trust me, they'll do everything in the book. The dark arts will try everything to beat the Rangers, because we've got the beating of them. That's the angry thing about our team. We've been on our players' cases all night on this show, and you're asking me now, I think we'll win by 2 clear goals. That's the annoying thing about this Rangers team. But let's get out there. We know what they've got in the locker when it comes to referees and VAR and all the rest of it. We've seen how many trophies they've robbed us out of, and people can just say, it's a VAR. Listen, waking up. We're getting refereed at a different standard. Bridgeman's been telling us for the last 36 months, the last 3 years, Bridgeman's been on about it. And the guy is right about everything he's saying. And I know sometimes it looks stupid when you're trying to blame referees, and you know your team knows before a ball's kicked what's going on. But listen, make no mistake about it. If we even step fit out of line in our penalty box, they're getting a penalty kick. It'll be the softest penalty ever, but they'll still get one. Trust me, if we don't use our head and do the dark arts right.
Yeah, well, interesting. A big one to the linesman for me is bizarre after that, yeah, bizarre. You know, and also all the stuff that came out, unbelievable. But anyway, watch this space. It's going to be interesting, but it's up to us, Southside. It's up to us.
Aye, you don't want any VAR decisions to impact the game at all, if it can be helped. That's what you hope for. But at some point, there will be VAR intervention. So hopefully, if it's anything that happens, it goes your way. If it's deserved to go our way, we get it. that'll be it. But hopefully it'll not come to that. We know we can score against them. We've been proving it against them. There'll be a implosion if we beat them again in their heads. They'll be screaming at Brenda. Might be happy to win a league, but they'll not be happy losing 3 times to us. But that's all we've got to go for on Sunday. Make sure that we can beat them when they come to Ibrox and the players respond, and hopefully with a few changes in the team will make a difference to us, and it'll probably be hopefully a better performance than we've seen at St Mirren.
I hope so, mate. Well, it couldn't be any worse, could it? Let's be honest, you know. Right, Stevie boy, believe it or not, we've reached that time of the evening, mate. Yeah.
Unreal, man. Unreal. Unbelievable how well the time flies, isn't it? You're talking about your team. Listen, all I can say is thanks a lot for the two of yous. Been good discussion tonight about. Look, we're dreaming, aren't we? We're just want these boys in, take their club out, give a wee pot of gold, and let's get the right man in. Let's get the right man in, and hopefully he's got a battle plan in his own head who he can bring in and get the Rangers back to where we should be. I mean, we can't have any worse season next season than we've already had this season, eh? So surely there's a bit of silverware there for us. So exciting times coming up, and just let's hope these 49er boys get the bug for the teddy bears and they sink even more money in. Right, thanks for having us, Ox. Free platform, brilliant. Once again, cracking wee night. Cheers for having us.
Yeah, you remember getting to your bed early Friday night.
Oh, that's right, we'll get my big day out, aren't we? Oh, you dancer. Mind your wallets used to, and don't be turning up with your aprons on, okay?
You want to go? You want to reply, Southside?
He knows the wallets always bring. We know he always bring the wallets. That's no in question. I'm sure we'll get you a few sherbets, big man. Don't worry about it. No, it'll be good on Saturday. Looking forward to it. See a few friends and get good banter and have a good drink. And we'll suffer on the Sunday going to Ibrox, but that will just be part of it. So looking forward to that. And thanks for having us on.
That could be brilliant, mate. That could be brilliant because if you do a Southside Super 6, I could be whispering every minute something happens. That could be really good fun, really.
I suppose if I've got to endure it, we'll need to endure it, won't we?
Yeah, but this is the time to get it up, mate, isn't it?
Aye, I'll need to take more care this week.
This is the time to get it up, mate. You could be getting Kerry's shoulder high.
might just go to Ibrox on the Sunday. Bring your season books with you. No, thanks for having us on. It's good to be on with the big one as always, talking about the famous. And thanks to everybody in the YouTube channel that's joined in tonight. Thank them and everybody else for listening out there. And as always, there's only one team and one crown.
Yep. Thanks to Stevie and Southside for doing the show. Fox and Old School Blue for doing the technicals. Rangers Radio will be back tomorrow night talking about all things Rangers. And it's a case of watch this space. Take it away, Old School Blue.